From Washington, this is VOA News. U.S. President orders preparations for a possible military pullout from Afghanistan this year. And Nigerian Islamist militants stage a deadly attack on a school in the northeast of the country. I'm Michael Lipin reporting from Washington. U.S. President Barack Obama has ordered his administration to prepare for a potential withdrawal of all U.S. troops from Afghanistan by the end of this year. White House spokesman Jay Carney said Mr. Obama informed Afghan President Hamid Karzai of the order in a Tuesday phone call, the first known conversation between the two leaders in months. Carney said Mr. Obama warned Mr. Karzai that a U.S. pullout may happen if Afghanistan refuses to sign a long-delayed bilateral security agreement with Washington. Carney said the longer such a deal is delayed, the more likely it becomes that any U.S. mission remaining in Afghanistan will be smaller in scale after 2014. Western and Russian officials are giving their opinions about Ukraine's political future after last week's opposition ouster of President Viktor Yanukovych, a longtime ally of Russia. The Ukrainian parliament also approved a motion on Tuesday to send the fugitive president to the International Criminal Court to face a possible trial on charges of murdering protesters. VOA's Pam Dawkins has more.
EU Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton says European leaders want to help a new Ukrainian government move the country forward in the way that it chooses.
Of course, that needs to be inclusive and it needs to have the expertise that will be so necessary. And it needs to have both lasting political solutions and a credible economic plan.
Ashton commented after she met Tuesday with Ukrainian officials in Kiev, including former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko, who was freed from prison on Saturday. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says his country has reaffirmed its position of non-interference in Ukrainian affairs, but is also calling for national dialogue and a return of the rule of law. Pam Dawkins, VOA News, Washington.
Witnesses in northeast Nigeria say suspected Islamist militants attacked a school on Tuesday, killing more than 30 people. The attack happened at about 2 a.m. local time at a state-run co-educational school in Nigeria's Yobe state. Students and parents told VOA that the attackers set fire to dormitories and then killed the students with machetes and knives or threw them back into the burning buildings as they tried to escape. There has been no claim of responsibility, but officials blamed the attack on the militant group Boko Haram. UN member states are calling for the implementation of a Security Council resolution on Syria, demanding that humanitarian workers have safe access to Syrian civilians. From the United Nations, VOA's Margaret Bashir has the story.
The General Assembly heard a briefing from heads of UN agencies dealing with the humanitarian and human rights crisis caused by the 3-year-old conflict. They said the death toll has reached well over 100,000, and more than 9.3 million people are in need of assistance inside Syria, including at least 6.5 million who are internally displaced. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said the scale and severity of suffering is growing daily for all Syrians, and he hopes the resolution adopted Saturday will make a difference on the ground.
It is a basic principle and rule of war that civilians should be treated humanely. Denying access to people in urgent need of food, water, or medical supplies is a fundamental denial of their rights to life and human dignity.
Margaret Bashir, VOA News, the United Nations.
Indonesia has opened a regional recycling conference aimed at increasing awareness of waste management for economic and environmental benefits. The forum, which opened in Surabaya on Tuesday, is being attended by 300 participants from nearly 40 Asia and Pacific countries. And the Philippines is demanding an explanation from Beijing after the Chinese Coast Guard allegedly fired water cannon at Filipinos fishing in a disputed area of the South China Sea. Manila on Tuesday summoned China's top envoy in the Philippine capital to protest the incident, which happened last month near the uninhabited Scarborough Shoal. The rocky outcrop has become a flashpoint in military tensions between both countries. You can find more on those stories by checking out our website at voanews.com. I'm Michael Lipin, reporting from Washington.